2, 1. And we are actually live for our Friday's meeting on Visionaries Unlimited, this wonderful unscripted channel where you get to experience where our community is going and how it is. It started on YouTube. You see, I told you. Sorry for that, but this is the point. We are here unscripted because we're letting our soul speak to you. We're letting our energy channel the informations. Today, in the specifics, what you will hear from us, from Maria, our wonderful total alignment officer and co-founder at Visionaries, and from me, founder and visionary executive officer, is how we create collaboration, how we co-create, how we partner up concretely with other realities that are creating heart-centered disruption and innovation, how we grow together, how we transcend the space-time reality that other humans think this is how it should be. How do we go beyond that? So I'd like to leave the first words to our Maria and to hear what she thinks about the actual concept from the visionary's perspective of collaboration. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Arjun, and welcome everyone, as usual, every week. And this word collaboration means a lot and very deeply. It is the essence, I would say, of co-creation. So we can think of collaboration as it can be, money can be involved or not be involved at all. But collaboration means that you are kind of giving something to another human being and receiving something from another human being, which is the essence of life. That's what we do, even without thinking about it. When we're conscious about it, what we do in our interactions is that we are giving the most and also be open to receive the most. And when we are more even focused on our businesses around our vision, our life projects, then more consciousness we should bring in that sense, because we're trying to create an impact on the world globally. So every interaction that we make, any collaboration, is going to be connected to the vision. It's going to be connected to its energy. So we need to be very conscious of every interaction, collaboration that we are doing. This collaboration also requires something essential from us. It is our natural expression, that we are authentically expressing ourselves in the outer world. Otherwise, other potential collaborators will not identify us, will not see us as the missing piece in their puzzle. So if we're not expressing ourselves, how can we expect others to find us? And this is one of the responsibilities in relation to your vision, that you be out there expressing yourself, and that you are also courageous to ask for help or to propose to someone to collaborate with you when you spot someone who has something that you don't, something that you feel that would perfectly complement your business, your project, give you visibility, more personal resources, material resources, even more excitement in the process of creating it. Anything that you feel that you may be that could be a plus to your business and your vision. Yes, you need to be courageous to ask for help, to address that person and say, this is what I would love to receive from you, and in return I would love to give you this back. Is it a deal? And make it in a light, very natural and humble way. And if they say no, then it was not meant to be. There's nothing to regret. And now I pass it on to Arten to see what he has to share about this.
Look, I'll take it from the end, and then I'll point to the actual aspect of responsibility, that it is
Okay.
responsibility to collaborate. What you left me with was some very important reflection. How do we actually make sure that we are adding value to one another. In your words, you said that, but how do we make sure that what we are doing is the best thing for the other? And if it doesn't happen now, it's maybe meant for later or not
Yes.
meant at all. And that is really okay. That is really fine. There's a divine timing for everything. And with that divine timing in mind, this very higher consciousness kind of thinking, we need to accept that our vision is not ours, it's not belonging to just our human experience, but we're bringing it to others and we're bringing it forth with others. And the more with others we bring it forth, the more powerful it will be. So it is our responsibility. It is our, yeah, birthright to receive collaboration and perspective. And it is our duty, our soulful duty, to co-create with others, to make sure that we we are responsible, we're able to respond to whatever others' visions are being created. So when I come from the perspective of partnering up to create concrete partnership, concrete collaborations, to make sure that, for example, the event that we're launching in 2023, the large scale event where we aim to having at least 300 of the most heart-centered disruptors on earth, I do not stay focused on, oh, the little of my community. I want to, I want it to be exclusive. And if there's another visionary creation out there, I really need to make sure that they come to mind. No, that's not the thinking. The thinking is that in the actual landing page, I'm going technical, I'm going specific here, but in the landing page, there's my logo, there's their logo, there's our logos, there's all of those in that kind of big, um, beautiful wall where all logos are displayed, because we are co-creating it. And so this is partnership, this is sponsoring each other, this is making sure that, for example, I have this beautiful thing I started conversating about with another visionary. She is hosting terrific um, retreats, week-long retreats for creators in the Virgin Islands. I want to bring people to her place, and I want to make sure that once they attended that beautiful creation, they come out of there more inspired and more ready to be speakers at my event in 2023 for the hundreds of people that we're hosting. And that I'm able to form, to empower, to give the tools to visionary humans to actually step up and go to her retreats. You see how organic, how exponential, how ripple effect this is, how humble and selfless this gets to be. And it's getting me emotional if I think about it, that it would be effortless for me to get this visionaries community to be the biggest on earth, because it will not be limited to visionaries. It is already the biggest community for me, because all visionaries have the right to enter into the door with a visionary creation. So this is a little bit how we're thinking in here, also on a business perspective, and how spiritually we can grow. I'd like actually Maria to talk a little bit about it, and excite you, listener, on how conscious this business co-creation and partnership can become.
So we've mentioned before how essential to our community love is. We need to understand that when we're co-creating, we're giving ourselves to another human being, all that we have, all our gifts, everything that we have, everything that we are. We should all give it selflessly to the other person, ideally. I'm not saying that we are all able to do that all the time, but ideally, to have that in our focus, to give ourselves fully to the other. And that's how we actually grow. And that's how we stop experiencing the need to stand out in society, to be the first, to be the best. Yes, we say we want to be the biggest community in the world of visionaries, if it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it will have whichever size it's meant to have. But in our desire is that all visionaries come together, because we can not imagine the impact that that can have in the world. But that's a way of talking. It's the best, not because we need to, because we think we can, and we would love for that to happen if it's meant to be. So going back to love, and the essence of co-creation and collaboration is that we are all here helping each other. We need to understand this. And if we stop competing and if we start sharing ourselves fully, then there should be no friction, and there should be no suffering either, because there is room for everybody. The problem that we have been kind of how do you say, thrown at us unconsciously in society, is that we need to compete to find ourselves in the world. We need to be at the top of some ladder, and we need to shout that we are here and that we're doing this and much better than the other one who is on the other side. There is no need for this anymore. There has never been a need for that, but now we're conscious that there is no need for that at all. That actually we can stop thinking of others as competitors, and we can think of them as inspirators. And to open the door, there most likely will still be a part of us that will be trying to protect, like, this is my territory, this is mine, this is me, I want to stand out and I want to be the protagonist. Okay, we will be aware of this voice, and at the same time we will make the effort of opening our hearts and give to the other person, especially, and I say this out of personal experience, when someone comes to us asking for help. It will come a moment where all of us will be very accomplished visionaries, and the amount of time that we have to socialize and to do other things will be more limited. Still, I believe, and it's a priority for me, and I also invite you to be open to this, that anyone who comes to you asking for help, any kind of help, that you think of this as a priority, and don't put people in boxes of important or unimportant, because our unconscious self does that very often. So anyone who comes to us, we open our hearts. How can I help this person from a business or personal perspective? And that's the way, the best way that you can grow. It's true that you can grow, because energy will be life will be supporting you as you are giving, and the other person, I mean, what is more important for you than to experience the love inside of giving love to another person? Because when that person is asking for help, it is at the very end asking for love. It's going to ask it in a very precise way, but when you say no or you ignore the person, that's a very negative impact. So if you cannot provide any kind of help, look for someone who can provide that help, or have kind and beautiful words for this person, like, I'm very sorry, I cannot. But please, because out of personal experience, and I've seen this in very, or at least apparently very conscious people, ignoring others, I just invite you to remember that every single person on this planet is important, and you don't know to what extent they can be important for your vision and your business in the future.
Definitely, you can never know. You can never know. And yeah, as I picked from what you shared earlier, indeed, is maybe not right now. Do not close doors if possibilities in the universe are infinite. I am not saying not to set your boundaries. I'm not saying not to be aware of where you're at right now. So, what kind of collaborations can be of use.
Better
And
use, yeah.
yeah, not even better use, but use itself, because maybe you have no use for what they're offering to you right now.
Ah,
um, maybe there's no concrete possibility for collaboration at the stage you both are at right now.
mhm.
So as you grow, you might want to co-create uh, the the technology disrupting software, um, because you don't believe in how the direction of humanity in the AI field looks like. And so you want to create a new concept of AI. Maybe you do not believe on cyber humanity as someone would believe into, and so you need to come together and put aside your egos. And so this is when the actual visionary gets to do the inner work. The visionary gets to do the ego work, the self transformation, the inner energy transformation of him, herself, us, ourselves. We need to work inside. I was talking to a woman yesterday. It was really mind blowing how, in a way, overlapping, and in another way, parallel, this conversation was. Um, and I do see this woman, and most likely you'll see this woman in our community, Visionaries, presenting what she's presenting, bringing the people she's talking to into the community, and how we instead will deliver and add value into her own creation. The whole topic here of the conversation turned to be, how do we set aside our attachment to how our creation is, and how do I see that you are doing things in my creation and how I do things in your creation, and vice versa. How do we set that aside for the sake of higher consciousness, for the sake of what consciousness is asking from us? Consciousness is embodying through us. How do we make sure that the highest version of it comes through? And this is really sitting together selflessly. And I'd like to leave it to Maria with a little sentence, okay? Your vision won't be known by anyone if you do not share it. And when you share it, you're actually living it in the best way you can share it is to live it in a very clear and directed and pure open source form. That's when it will truly, and it requires stepping down from the attachment for me, because open source means that anyone might add energy and momentum and ideas to it, which doesn't mean change the original vision, change the original mission, change the actual identity of the creation, but for sure add value into it. And I'd like to leave it to Maria, because I know it's provocative in a way as a thinking.
I think in relation to the vision, it is required from us to be very ambitious. And I say this because out of many talks with many visionaries and potential visionaries, what I find is that some people are trying to bring into fruition great projects, but they still don't have the clarity of the vision because they haven't sat with it yet. And the vision is like the greatest aspiration and greatest impact that you could have in this world. And I'm finding that some people still have not identified this great thing that they could do. And instead, they're more focused in the next year action or the mission. Some people confuse this word, but the vision is like the biggest thing that you could bring into this world. And it is very, very clear that this cannot happen if it's not through collaboration, through co-creation. How can you think that you can bring a great project and a huge impact in this world? Doesn't matter whether it's local, national, or global, if it's not through the help of other human beings. How can you think that that can happen? It's impossible.
Can I interject
Yes.
a moment? It's Visionaries is the unity, the togetherness of visionary communities. Your impact in this world is really cared of within a bigger container. And this is why ambitiously we say that we get to be the biggest community in the world, not because we want to be the best, but because selflessly we know that what we're creating is a container where visions are welcomed. And at the point where they fall into the container, there's this process that happens through love, through asking, how can my vision add value to yours so that yours grow? While I know selflessly that your growth will inevitably add value to my vision. And so I had to interject, kind of putting this thing of Visionaries is this community of visionary communities. And you're very welcome in it. You're very welcome in it, concretely partnering up, adding value to one another. Maria.
Yeah. A radical exercise that you can do to make sure that you are no longer competing with other visionaries or with other human beings in general is that you understand or believe, you don't really need to understand, but at least believe that the fastest growth for you will come from as much as you give to others, as you give honestly, humbly, and authentically yourself to others without expecting anything in return, because life will take care of that, will bring your way what you need to receive to accomplish your vision, to materialize it. So this is a radical exercise, but I've practiced it at times whenever I see that my ego is trying to control the vision, make it myself, me, how, when. I just focus on how can I help all these people around me and be more available, invest more time in their visions or their personal lives so that I get detached from this idea of me, myself, and my vision. Um, because the vision, it's not a personal thing. It is using you in the most loving way as a vehicle, as the main, let's say, the main motor to bring it out. But it obviously requires so many other human beings for it to take a form and for it to make a big impact. And it is through love that that can happen. Otherwise, it's going to create another mess that another generation will suffer from, and we don't want that anymore. We want our visions to be as clean as possible, metaphorically, so there is so much love and so much transparency coming out of us and others joining us energetically that we can bring it to the best, make it flourish, to bring it to the best expression that it can have for all generations to come, ideally.
Yes, amen. Amen to that. It's look, one metaphor, one image that I love giving very often is that nobody is welcome in my beautiful white. You can imagine a Taj Mahal kind of house, which is the house of visionaries with dirty shoes. And it's not discrimination or offense, it's not exclusiveness, though it's making sure whoever enters has the best intentions for what is in the highest pinnacle of where all visions converge, in the highest, where all visions converge. And when I say this, I really mean to say that this open source that I meant earlier is also meant to bring in the best ideas possible. And when you spot a good idea, you should walk towards it, not be afraid of it. The ego is afraid. The ego might get angry. The ego might get competitive. But the heart and the love that you're carrying your vision through with is inclusive, merging, collaborative, and it will walk towards that vision, to work together with it, in this case another human bringing forth that vision. I'm personalizing visions here, and and the idea really is to have that clarity in mind. We always start from that. We always really make sure to start from that point, and this is my open invitation for you. If you have clarity of vision, come forth, come closer. We want to hear what your vision is. If we hear what your vision is, we'll be compelled, we'll crave, because this is the nature of visionaries and the creation we're creating and channeling almost. We'll be compelled to understand how to make sure that that vision grows. So if you come closer, we'll love co-creating, partnering up, growing together. And if you do not have clarity of vision, just come closer, because everything we do is to get you clear on that. And once you're clear, the step that I just described will happen. We'll collaborate, we'll co-create, we'll partner up, we'll point each other at the best co-creation, collaboration, partnership. I cannot stress this point enough. This is the whole point of it. This is why I go live in the first place, to see you, to come together with you, to talk to you. I'm almost having that experience of excitement, and the ego would get frustrated not seeing that happen. So I keep on stressing the point. Come closer. Join Visionaries community in the link in the description. Join our Tuesdays Visionary Mastermind. The link in the description. Join us. Be visionary with us. I'm obsessively excited about what I'm saying, and I know Maria is as well. Maria, what else would we share with our listeners? We have a minute left.
Yes. What I'd like to share to close this beautiful interaction and collaboration between Arten and I is that the vision comes from the heart. You will know this because if you really tap into it, it is so big that the human mind will say that's impossible. Perfect. That's exactly when you really hit the point. When the mind said that's impossible, you got it. The human mind will say it's impossible. It doesn't matter. The how is not the most important thing. It is that you got exactly the essence of it. And the how, it is life that will be telling you every step of the way, how and when. You just need to be open and just need to be courageous to trust that you can reach there. And whichever step of the journey you get before you die as this human being, that's wonderful. There is no race here. As far as you can get to bring more love or to bring more joy, more understanding, more impact, more expansion in whichever way of the human being, that's more than enough. and that you have fun along the way. So remember, ambitious vision that comes from the heart and that will only happen by you collaborating authentically, honestly, and humbly with other human beings.
Mm. Juices, juice, the juice, it's sacred words you said. And to make it happen and be more visionary than what you are already, just stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, tell us your vision in the comments, join the Visionary Masterminds on Tuesday, join the community, and we're here. You're safe, you're home. This is where heart-centered disruption happens. I'd say daily. Be visionary.
Yeah, we're waiting